are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right, we are live on Radio Row. Some people said it wasn't possible, but won't he do it? I'm Ben BS3 Network, live here, Super Bowl 59. And I got my man Al here with me, Al Casual Highlights, photographer extraordinaire, videographer extraordinaire. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. It's good to be here. It's my first time here. Surreal moment. Still in awe of everything going on.
Yeah, man. It's a great experience to be here again on Radio Row. This is our third year, second year with the table, and here in New Orleans, being able to experience the greatness of New Orleans and everything that it has to offer, and definitely looking forward to whatever we have coming up for the rest of this week. We got the media dinner later on tonight. I had opening night last night. If you have not already, make sure to check out all of the content. Al's got some great content. I've got some good stuff out there, so make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, make sure to keep it locked. You never know who will be on. We will be on here throughout the day and throughout the rest of the week. So make sure to just keep it locked. Let me give a shout out to a couple of people. Nathan Ramachandra, Chris Bass in the building, Daryl or Darnell. I think I've seen you somewhere. Come over to the table. It's an unknown number, so just keep walking around till you see me, and then we can definitely get you on. But what is it like being here on Radio Row? Some people may or may not know, but your team is the Kansas City Chiefs. So, man, talk about that.
First off, man, with the Chiefs, never imagined this. I knew one day they would win, but to be on the cusp of even more history of being the first NFL team to ever three-peat and to win, man, it's a surreal moment. It's greatness at its finest. And just to be here on Radio Row, not just as a Chiefs fan, but to salute to all the other NFL fans that are here and the great content creators and the podcasters and the radio hosts and the photographers. It's a beautiful thing. And just picking their minds, networking with them, people I've been following for several years when I got into this industry in 2019. And now to see them and shake hands with them and let them know, hey, I appreciate you for inspiring me through your content, through your work. So it's an amazing thing coming in. The first person I saw, I was in Kansas City about to be on the flight down here. Man, Tech 9. I did a double check. Is that Tech Nina? Wait a minute. And talked to him, got a picture with him, and then saw him at opening night last night. So that was phenomenal. But, man, it's still soaking in. It's still surreal that, man, growing up watching this on TV, watching ESPN, Fox Sports, talk about Radio Row, other shows, and now I'm here looking at it, man. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. Man, it definitely is surreal, and being able to see some of those people that we've grown up watching, see some of those people that we've grown up, watching them on TV, watching them as athletes or whatever it may be. But Tech 9 is one of the coolest, I think one of the dopest artists and people, very approachable, not one of those people that'll be like, hey, no, you can't be here. No, you're doing too much. No, you can't get an autograph. No, you can't get a picture. I mean, he definitely spent a lot of time with people. So he's definitely one of those people that I'm excited that we've met so far. Let me get to some comments here. We also do have a guest coming up here in a couple minutes. His name is Cliff Freeman. He'll be coming on. Like I said, we'll have some other varieties of guests as well as we continue to go throughout this week. If you're interested in supporting BS3 Network, you can support us through stars, through Facebook, and we greatly appreciate that. No amount is too little, no amount is too large. We are continuing to grow the network, continuing to do great things when it comes to the network. Shout out to my man, Chef Jeff Gilliard, James Smith, Drew Willingham. Thank you guys for stopping in, tuning in with us. What's up, my man, Courtney Harden in the building. Thank you. Yeah, man, appreciate you for tuning in. I know you Wanted to come this year, but man, this is the third of many. So we will continue to. So it's not like this is your last opportunity. Nathan, he says, "What's up, Ben and Al?" He said, "Let's go." Also, Chris Bay says, "Congratulations on your third year. We appreciate that very much. Keep up the great work. We appreciate it. I know you missing it, Courtney, but we repping it for you. We can hold it down for you till next time. I appreciate that." Nathan said we already done some awesome content. We definitely appreciate that. Darnell says, "Have to come holler at y'all tonight at the party." Okay, we will definitely be there. Definitely be there. They ain't getting that repeat this time around. Okay. All right, we'll see. Also, great interview with my guy Darius Big Play Slay. Yeah, hey man, this is when you're on Radio Row, you think it's easy to just come up to a guy and ask him a question. Well, it's not at all. You gotta wiggle around. You gotta figure out how you're gonna get to a guy. Some of it is your barring content. That wasn't even my question, but hey, I was the one with the camera. I was the one that got the content. So you just never know, what's going on, how many opportunities you're gonna get. But Big Play Slay, that was good, and I appreciate you as well, Courtney. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm pretty sure I already know what the answer is, but who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I got Kansas City. I got the Chiefs winning. Of course, Red Kingdom. Shout out. But I think it'll be a close game, as like the last Super Bowl 57 was close. And you got people, the old school Cowboy fans who I've ran into a couple times, but y'all didn't blow nobody out, or the rest was on y'all side. Listen, at the end of the day, you still have to play the game. You still have to make the plays. And for the Chiefs to win, I believe right now, the Chiefs' offense now is hitting on all cylinders right now. Yeah. At one time, man, it was like, let's get to 20, and we're going to go from there and figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But now you got Hollywood Brown is back. You have the surgeons of D. Hopkins. You have Andy. We saw Andy Reid press conference. Nobody's on the injury report. No injuries to report.
Right.
So that's a good thing. So now you're at full strength. So now we're going to see in this game, especially with the offense on Sunday, we're going to see what the offense would have been if everybody was healthy.
Right.
We still, Rashid Rice is out for the year with his ACL, unfortunately, but we're going to see what a D-Hop, a Hollywood Brown, a Worthy, all that speed. And then my favorite storyline is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, who was in the same draft class as Patrick Mahomes. Rookie year had over 1,000-yard rushing year. Yep. Next year, he was witnessing a 50 touchdown pass performance by Patrick Mahomes, and then in the middle of that, he got released, and so he went to Cleveland, which is it's like he went away, and they sent him off somewhere to a dungeon, almost like going to the Raiders to a dungeon. So and for him to come back, I think I'm most excited about seeing him being able to experience this, because had he not had the issue that happened to him, he'd probably be talking about 4 rings.
Right.
And since then, but he's been in the league 7 years, and usually after 7 years, a running back is a dinosaur. You're like, hey,
your career is over with.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And so for him to come back and have the fresh legs, the duo of him and Isaiah Pacheco, Samaje P. Ryan, and the rookie Carson Steele, like, that's a great combination. But Hunt, man, is that dude, man. And I'm excited about him, man. And it's funny you were saying, Ben, about the questions. I had to learn, man, you got to get in where you fit in around here.
Yeah.
You literally, like last night when we was at the opening ceremony, man, I'm fighting. I just do, excuse me. I got my GoPro. I'm up here, camera. I'm like, man, you literally have to get your question in. If you want to ask questions to get it, sometimes it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to listen. It's okay to take little snippets here and there.
Yeah.
But you literally have to grease elbows with him.
Yeah. And when it comes to Kareem Hunt, I'm glad you brought him up. your career is not always high. You got highs and lows, and Kareem Hunt has been able to bounce back all this time that he's been gone, and he comes right back in the first year he in the Super Bowl. So shout out to Kareem Hunt. Keeping his his head on level, not allowing things that has happened to him to get him too off track. And shout out to Andy Reid. And so it's exciting. Like again, we'll be here all day. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get another guest on. My man Chris Drummond's gonna stop and sit down with us. He's over here. Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. He's gonna be coming down. Then we also got Cliff Freeman, and then we'll have some other guests coming up as we continue to go throughout the day. So we will be right back. We're live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59.
Welcome to Sheer Alternatives, your premier source for luxury cosmetics, crafted from safe, organic ingredients. Sheer means pure, and we use nothing other than trusted minimal ingredients to provide you with safe oral care, skin care, and hair care products. Our cruelty-free formulas are meticulously designed to pamper your skin while preserving its natural beauty. At Sheer Alternatives, we believe that skincare should be both indulgent and gentle, ensuring that every product we offer nurtures your body with the utmost care and respect. Treat yourself to the soothing comfort your skin truly longs for. Join us at the Dallas Farmers Market every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., where you can explore our exquisite range of products in person. Alternatively, visit our Dallas office at 9550 Forest Lane, open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for personalized skincare consultations and to shop our full collection. Our knowledgeable staff is always ready to help you find the perfect products to meet your unique skincare needs. Experience the ultimate in all-natural care with Sheer Alternatives. Your skin deserves nothing less than the best, and we are dedicated to providing you with luxurious, effective solutions that honor and enhance your natural beauty. Visit us today and discover the difference that truly exceptional organic skincare can make. Thank you for choosing Sheer Alternatives.
All right, welcome back. We are live on Radio Row. We got another media member of BSC Network. We got Chris Drummond in the building.
What's up with it, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yeah, man. So Chris Drummond, host of the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, is available on Roku. If you have not already, this is free. It don't cost you anything. Support is free. If you got a Roku TV or a Roku app, go and download BS3 TV. Also, you can go to bs3tvlive.com. You can see all of his content. Doing a great job. All right, man. So first time on Radio Row. Talk about your experience so far and what it's been like.
It's been amazing, man. Just seeing all the media outlets here, you hear about it, but until you in those shoes and you actually see it for the first time, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. To see all these people here talking to different athletes, media people, networking. I'm going to soak it all up, man. Soak it all up and enjoy this experience. It's been enjoyable so far, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, definitely. So Chris, coming from Minnesota and coming down here to New Orleans, talk about, this matchup. Obviously, we know who it is. This is a rematch of a couple years ago. But talk about this matchup, Chiefs versus Eagles.
The biggest thing about this is that that both teams are going to play well. I do feel both teams are going to play well. Last time these two teams played, it was a total of 73 points scored, 38-35, if I'm not mistaken, with the final score, the Chiefs winning. The biggest key for me for the Eagles is going to be TOP, time of possession, and keeping that Kansas City offense off of the field. They can do that because they're one of the top rushing teams in the league, not only with Saquon Barkley, but with Jalen Hurts. For Kansas City, it's going to be not turning over the ball and being able to have big plays. They're not a team that generates a lot of big plays, but I think that they're going to need a couple big plays in this Super Bowl to be able to kind of differentiate themselves in this particular game. Pat Mahomes is going to be Pat Mahomes. But the X factor to me for the Chiefs is going to be Xavier Worthy. He's been a problem all postseason, and the Eagles are going to have to find a way to defend him for sure. The X factor for me for the Eagles is probably going to be Devontae Smith. We know what A.J. Brown can do, but Devontae Smith, getting the ball in his hands, him being electric, if they can find a way to get him the ball multiple times, it'd be great.
Yeah. And, one of the interesting things about being on Radio Row, you get to interview different players. Last night and today, able to interview some players. I think when it comes down to the defense, this is going to definitely be a big defensive matchup. Steve Spagnuolo, the history of him is it speaks for itself. What he's done with the Giants, also now what he's doing with the Chiefs, and then Vic Fangio on the other side. So you just think of the back and forth, how they're going to figure out how to scheme against each other. I'm really looking forward to that. Steve Spagnuolo is also a really good guy. We got to actually meet him last night. He doesn't brag on himself. We were saying, like, what do you think about being in the Hall of Fame as a coach? And he was like, I don't really think about that. But talk about the defensive matchup and those two defensive coordinators.
Yeah, it's different styles. Styles make fights. We know Vic Fangio is not a huge blitzer. He wants his front four to get home. He wants to be able to, have his back seven play the coverage, play the receivers. He doesn't want to blitz a lot and do that, which is a good style because when you have the front that Vic Fangio has, it allows you not to have to blitz a lot. For Steve Spagnuolo, he likes to be able to bring the blitz. He likes to be able to bring pressures. He wants to mix it up a little bit. And I think that it's going to be key because one of these two defenses, if whoever can force a turnover or an extra possession, to me, is going to win the game.
Yeah.
They said it last night. These two quarterbacks combined for 11 touchdowns and no interceptions, right? And they don't throw the ball to the other team. Yeah. So these defensive coordinators are going to have to find a way to steal an extra possession from the other team. It's a heck of a matchup between Vic and Spags for sure.
Yeah, and when you think of Patrick Mahomes, like you said, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And then when you look at on the other side, Jalen Hurts also doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And spoiler alert, it's two black quarterbacks. So for all of those that say black quarterbacks can't do things and they shouldn't be here and all that other stuff, it's two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. So I'm definitely looking forward to the matchup. I think we know what each one of them can do, and we know what they're capable of doing. But it's going to come down to the X's and O's. It's going to come down to Sunday, what it's going to look like. But we definitely got a big matchup. Who do you got winning, and what's your prediction on the score?
I have the Eagles avenging their loss from a couple of years ago. I do think that Saquon Barkley is a huge difference in the run game. I think Saquon's going to get close to about 100 yards and keep that Chiefs offense on the sideline. The less Mahomes has the ball, the better. So I think the Eagles win in a close matchup. I think it's going to be 27-24.
All right. So we'll see. It's coming up very soon. So we're going to take another quick break, and then we have our next guest coming up, Cliff Freeman. So we will be right back live from Radio Row here at BS3 Network, and we will be right back.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast where A-Trap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, welcome back. We are live right now on Radio Row here in New Orleans, Louisiana, live for Super Bowl 59. And we got our next guest up on the show, Cliff Freeman. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you for stopping by the table. How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and what do you here at Super Bowl Radio Row for?
All right, I appreciate it. So I am Dr. Cliff Freeman. I help athletes not derail their careers prematurely by dealing with girls, gold, and glory. Those are the three things that can derail. They can derail any athlete. Now, of course, you can say guys, gold, and glory if it's girls, right? So either one of those can derail it. And so what I do is I'm here trying to spread this message, trying to help, because organizations and teams, they spend millions of dollars drafting one player, and they want the return on the investment is to be for this player to last years in the league, right? And before anybody could ever become a Hall of Famer, you got to survive the rookie, right? And so going from an amateur or from an amateur to a professional, from a minor to a major, is a huge transition. And a lot of guys, surprisingly, a lot of guys and girls don't make the transition well. And so what I want to do is share that message with as many people as I can.
Yeah. And when you talk about rookies, when they come into the league, they get all this money. They get a huge bag. Like we always talk about the bag.
Right.
But
NIL bag, don't forget about that one.
right, true. We got kids getting the bag, literal kids, 14 to 18. So talk about how they can best manage this great opportunity that they have and how they can make the best of it.
All right. So so first thing is this: there is information and there's implementation, right? So I can share, you can share all the information on the planet, right? We live in an information age, so you can get information anywhere and everywhere, but you got to implement what you learn. And so, first of all, if you learn something but you don't implement it, nothing's going to change, right? If you do the same thing and expect a different result, it's insanity, right? So with that in mind, our goal is to either come alongside the organization, the team, or just directly with sometimes one athlete and say, you know what, this athlete was, if I can speak freely, you was born in the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of you. You know, so you have had you didn't have anything, and now you've come into a lot of money. You've come into a major situation. You were the man in high school or the girl in high school. You were the man or the girl in college. Well, now you're on a team where everybody was the man or the girl. How are you going to navigate this space? And so what we want to do, we come right there, nose to nose, if you will, and say, okay, well, let's look at your finance. Let's look at your brand. Do you know what to do with these things? And if you don't, we try to help steer you in the right direction. The only way excellence can happen is with what I like to say, focus, relentless effort. That produces excellence.
Preach. So how did you get started with this, what you're doing? And also we'll get into the pro play formula, but how did you get started and how long you been working in this industry?
So I've been working in this, been doing this, been speaking for over 20 years. A lot of times I did it and didn't even know that this is what I was doing. Until, right. You know, and then somebody kind of brought it up like, you know what you have there, I'm like, really? Yeah, do that again. And then it's been, like I said, it's been over 20 years. How did it start? I started in youth football, youth sports. I played youth sports. I played high school and all of that. And I've seen guys and girls, well, specifically for my context, I've seen guys start off great. I mean, they were great, all Metro, all the things that come along with it. And it soon gets derailed. Now, of course, back in the 90s, we ain't having NIL. Right. It wasn't a thing, right?
It was $100 handshakes, though.
You got a $100 handshake. I got a handshake. You know? but you can, you see that happen, and it's like, something has to be done something can be shared so this can shift, so this can change. So it was 20 years ago when I learned that I could do this, should do this, and I started doing it slowly, but surely kind of hit a boom, if you will, back in 2023, and say, you know what, nah, I'm gonna do this. And we've been moving ever since.
Yeah. And that's how a lot of things start. Like, people have told me for a long time, you got a radio voice. I always love talking sports, and I was like, okay, I mean, that's just what I do is second nature.
Yeah.
And eventually you learn, like, okay, you really have something here that you can hone into, something you can develop and adapt. Where are you from? I'm kind of hearing a little bit of Baltimore.
Come on.
Two
and mother and father. Yes, I am born and raised. I get that everywhere I go, man. I am born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Spent 20 years in North Carolina, did 7 years in the military. Got out because I got hurt trying to jump out of perfectly good airplanes. And here I am. I'm in New Jersey now. In New Jersey, South Jersey now.
All right, so I mentioned it a little bit, the pro play formula.
Yep.
Talk about it. What does it mean, and how can it help athletes with their career?
All right, so pro play formula, it's really a playbook. Like, so we're all familiar, all athletes are familiar with a playbook of some sort. And so in the playbook, it starts off where you are. So it deals with, okay, you gotta be honest with yourself and honest with everybody else in order to move forward. Like I said it before, one thing is do the same thing, expect a different result is insanity. So you got to be honest with yourself. So we start there. So first there's the mentality, right? And then there's the execution, and then there's the leadership. So it's very easy to have the mentality that you're the guy when you're coming into the pros after being an amateur, because you were the man or the woman as an amateur. And we got to help frame that to say, nah, yeah, you that dude, but you that dude that's number 53.
Right. You were the man. Now you're one of
them. Exactly. And so it's helping, not destroying your confidence. Don't destroy that, but help pattern your confidence to be what it should be. All right. Don't sell yourself short and not like that, but help know where you are. And then once we help you mentally, once you grab a hold of that, then we look at the execution. You can execute in the gym. You can execute on the field. But if you ain't executing at home, or outside, off the court or off the field, nothing you do on the field will happen or even matter, because your mind will be everywhere else. So I like to call it focus, relentless effort. So and everybody said, well, what is that? What is focus, relentless effort that produces excellence? Okay, I share it with this story. So there's a story about a king who says to all the people in the land, I will give my daughter to whomever decides to do whatever I say. And so a peasant guy comes up and says, you know what, I'll do it. So what do you want me to do? So the king says, listen, I want you to take this jar of oil. You take this jar of oil. I want you to take it to the marketplace and back, and don't spill a drop. It's like, okay, well, if you spill a drop, I'm going to send this guy with you. And if you spill one drop, this guy's going to cut your head off on the spot. The guy says, okay, because the girl, right? So he goes, he takes a jar of oil. He starts walking down the valley, up the mountains, into the marketplace, all the way through the marketplace, all the way back out, through the valleys again, and back to the king. He gets to the king. The king looks at him and asks a question. He says, what'd you see in the marketplace? He says, nothing. He says, how not? Why not? He said, because I was just focused on the oil. That's focused, relentless effort.
Yeah.
When you know that if I spill one drop of this, if I mess up one morsel of what this God-given talent that I had that's taking me into the league or to the association or whatever, if I mess this up in one foul swoop, it all could be gone. When a player, when an athlete understands that, that's when they can begin to be excellent. I promise you, your Emmitt Smiths, your Troy Aikmans, your all the rest, they started off, they were that dude, but when they got in the league, somebody had to pattern that. So we deal with the mental, and then we did the execution, and then we deal with leadership. Can you be a leader in the space where you are? You might not be the team captain anymore. You're not the team captain anymore. You're not the dog. You're not, like I think Primetime says, you're not that guy anymore. But now you can still lead as the lowest man on the totem pole. There's a recruiter. I heard him say one time, he says, when he's recruiting kids, he can find 50,000 guys who score 30 points a night. He says what he does, he looks at how you act on the bench. Yeah. Because how you act on the bench. Right. When you're not playing, when you're not involved, when you're not the guy, That's going to tell who you really are. And so you need a team around you. And I like to tell people, teamwork, it ain't talent, it's trust. You can think about the dream team.
Yeah.
Think about the redeem team, right? You got dream team, and then you got dream team 2.0, and then you got the redeem team. Well, why did we need a redeem team? Because we lost. How do you lose with LeBron and with Kobe and all these guys? How do you lose? Because you don't trust each other, right? You shouldn't lose. So if you want to succeed, you got to have a great teamwork.
Facts. We got Dr. Cliff Freeman. I said Cliff Freeman and I messed it up. Put that doctor in front of that.
Man, my mama named me Cliff.
My mama named me Cliff. I'm gonna call him Cliff.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
But talk about some of the players that you work with, or some of the organizations that you work with so far.
So some of the organizations I work with some colleges, work with some high schools in the local New Jersey, Philadelphia area. I've done some work with Temple, some minor work with Temple University. Mostly it was like high school. High school is the high school senior that's going into college that you really gotta fix at that moment. As far as professionals, I haven't worked with any notable names. Story I can tell you guys about wasn't, but I was able to work with him so much in high school and in college that he was able to walk on to a team. Now this was back in the early 2000s, all that. You know, he never became a household name, nothing like that. And I didn't get his name just to be able to say, I'm gonna say your name on the podcast, so I'm not gonna get in trouble.
That's all right. It made an impact.
Right, exactly. And so with that, he's now coaching other kids, right? So he's no longer in professionals and all of that, but he's coaching other kids, and he realized, wow, if nothing would have changed for me as a senior in high school, freshman in college, God knows where I would be now. And so now he's able to help some kids today.
And I mean, that's really what it's all about. The impact that you make on someone else, that person can make an impact on somebody else.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
So what do you have coming up, in the future with the organization?
Well, we've got a couple things brewing. We got a couple things brewing with some organizations that are not sports teams, but realize teamwork works everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Teamwork works everywhere. So we got something coming up. One of the local dealerships in New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, auto lenders. We got some things with them. Like I said, we've done some things with Temple. We've done some things with Cooper Hospital, because people are realizing, I'm sorry. My
Hey, we keep it real here, all right? And we don't sugarcoat things.
It's like, my staff are not athletes, but I still need them to function as a team. And I'm like, okay, well, if you got, one of the first things we do is an assessment. If you've got great culture and all of this, and your people know what teamwork looks like, but they still don't know how to work together, it's not a team work. It's not a team problem. It's a leadership problem. And
that happens everywhere.
Everywhere.
On your job, I'm sure you got a leader or you got a boss that you don't like because they don't lead well. So
everybody got a leader.
True.
That we didn't like, we couldn't stand, all of that. Either now or sometime later. Look,
now we're in the future.
Right. You either had a bad leader, you are a bad leader, or you're going to have a bad leader. One or the other. It's going to happen. And so we've done some things with some different corporations, different companies, some sports teams. We got some things on the horizon as well. Haven't nailed things down, so I won't mention them because I might lose what I got. I want to mess nothing up, right? You know what I mean? But we got some things coming up. Of course, we're definitely here during Super Bowl week. Talking to different entities, different media outlets, letting them know that teamwork works no matter who does it.
Yeah. So where can everybody find you, follow you, if they want to work with you?
Got it. If you want to work with me, you want to follow me, I'm on all socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of them. X, Twitter. Is it X?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it is at Dr. Cliff Freeman, Dr. Cliff Freeman. And my website is cliffreemanspeaks.com, cliffreemanspeaks.com.
All right, man. Appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And we will definitely see you around, and we will be right back. We're going to take another quick break.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens Podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Listen, I spent what, 6 months in Missouri, Fort Leonard Wood, but we call it Fort Lost in the Wood.
Fort Lost in the Wood. I like that.
4 seasons in a day. Yeah, bro. It was
That
crazy.
sounds like Minnesota.
It was crazy. Like it's sunny and then
You are now tuned to BS3 Network. You are now tuned to BS3 Network. You are now tuned.
You be thinking the wind is just gonna be a breeze, but that breeze is a little too cold.
absolutely right. You know what? Can you take a picture for me, man, please? Yeah.
Yeah, just flip the tag.
Yeah, absolutely.
You already know that. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Took plenty of them already. So yeah. There you go. Got you. Okay. Oh, you're facing me. Let me turn around.
Right. Like I'm looking at myself.
Right. All right, Doc. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 in there.
All right.
I appreciate you, sir.
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate you.
And you said
you get your number.
My cell number is 856 375 1899. You know what? I could have just gave you my QR code.
Yeah, I got the same thing too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna ask for that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying not to do paper. If then your phone number changes, something changes, and then you got to change all the.
Absolutely. So just touch that. Yeah, there you go. Touch that link when it come up.
Gotcha.
You got was it Purple?
Just blink.
Blink.
Save contact. We in that. Save contact.
Save contact. Done, and then you good.
Now I do a podcast called Work Hard, Play Hard. And
Yeah.
The premise of my podcast is to talk about people's why and get to know them outside their occupation.
Okay.
So it dives into a deeper of why you do what you do, but it's also getting to know you, like asking fun questions as well. So it's not just about what you do, but it's also about who you are.
Absolutely.
And I like to do it because I'm a journalist, but I like to do it with all people of all genres and backgrounds. I typically like to set it up. I typically give like 3 weeks out in advance. So if I hit you up, can we discuss that?
Absolutely.
My man.
Absolutely, man. That's easy.
I appreciate
That's
it.
easy.
Appreciate it.
Let me do this so you learn more.
Yes, sir.
One for each other.
Appreciate it.
Matter of fact, let me sign it since I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get something to you too.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cliff.
Grab this bag.
I'm sorry.
You good?
Fancy with it. Look at that. You fancy with it, man.
Nah.
Look at that.
Okay. It was on sale. I'm cheap, really. My wife out there probably.
You ain't gotta tell nobody.
I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Let me
Spell
dash you
your
up,
name
man.
for me, Ben.
Yeah, BEMJAMIN.
BENJANMIN.
MIN.
Get used to this. It's a brand new. That's gonna be my test for the day. Yeah. Say less.
Now, who's this? Is this from yours, Anthony?
Chris. Yes, sir. Right, so now I'm about to scan you. Whoa. All right. Hey, I'm gonna send you a text message, my boy. All right. I got you in there. Yes, sir. Now, every time I think of you, I be thinking I'll be sure. Oh, hold on.
Half of the 9 breed of R&B, man.
Got a bag for you here too. It's got a pen, a lanyard.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Okay. I like it. Anthony. Or you prefer Tony? Al. Okay, got it.
I had a best friend, Tony. He messed over.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he trying to.
Ain't the best
Say
friend
less.
no more, huh?
Yeah, nah, I ain't talking to him in years.
I got you on that.
Thank you very much, sir.
I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I gotta have something to hold this in.
There you go, sir.
Man,
Got you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna get my podcast is on hold right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh yes, man.
photography work, media work. But when it comes back up, I love to have you as a
No
guest.
worries.
Like, a lot of people need services. A lot
Bruh.
of men, especially men, young men, need that mentorship.
Absolutely.
I'm here to help if they let me help.
So we here to we salute you.
Hey man, I'm
What
here to
you
be a
doing?
sponge, baby. I want to learn as much as I possibly can.
Brother, I'm like I
Can't
said,
learn where you haven't been unless you talk to people that been there. You know what I'm saying?
look, I told my niece that very thing the other day. I said, because we got 3 and we're raising 3, 2 nieces and a nephew. We got 6 teenagers in the house. And I said, this is what I want you to hear. I said, me, my wife, and my mother-in-law, are sitting at the table. I said, we have been where you are.
Right. We're trying to go.
I said, listen to that.
Right.
We have been where you are. I said, she, my mother-in-law, has been where we are.
Right.
Don't you think you ought to listen to us? I never thought of it like that.
It's levels.
Yeah, right. Come on, this.
Hey, Doc, can I get your QR code again?
Yes, sir.
There's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They got a media workroom up here. Yeah, so if you go outside these doors to the escalator, there's a media workroom.
Learning all this new technology. There we go. I got you, man.
Okay.
Got you, man.
Yep.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
be here from you soon.
Okay. Send it, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
And y'all still have time, so I got some other folks that are in the group that I'm with. Okay. I'll send them over.
Yeah, send them over.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Dang, okay. I got some reading work for the back when I get on the plane, baby. I'm about to read. Minnesota, Kansas City, pretty much there, baby.
Man, I gotta get you on the. I would probably link it. My goal is to bring it back up after March, the March Madness. But I'm heavy basketball. But I like what you was talking about, man. The purpose and stuff. Like that's what I really want to deal with. People's passion. Like this is just a tool, bro. All this stuff is tools to put in your phone. That's the reason why I started that. It's a lot of I know his personal. Yeah. A lot of people. Yeah. Nah, but he's got a lot of yeah. Right. 35%. Yeah, the food it makes going to be a lot of fun. 35%. There's no representation. Now, right. I assume you'll be at the or new thing. We just here for the cats. We're not here. I appreciate it, man. Jason gave me a phone. I thought it was happening. I put this on. This was like in my personal brand, and I had decided if I was going to do the personal brand, my actual shirt. I Yeah, I got 3 years ago. This right here.
Oh yeah, we haven't met in person.
He did. He was listening to a box. So, boy, you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the wings.
Go, fellas. I'm gonna go hit this restroom.
Whatever did the back.
Go restroom right quick.
Well, I mean, I've been going up. I graduated from TCU. This is cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be Where's that? I don't know. No problem. Just right? Just give me a notice, like, at the time. Figure it out. Oh, yes. So, I would oh, that was good. Yeah. So, no. I just can't take mine down yet. You say it's a beer or like yeah, that'd be cool. That's it. Yeah. It's circus out here. You gotta grab.
Ben, Ben Sutter. Yes. Yeah, so BS3 Network is a podcast network. We have a variety of shows, about 30 to 35 shows. We talk some of everything. So we have sports, music, society and culture. We also have Sunday services on the network as well. And so basically we talk some of everything. So it's a podcast network on Facebook. We also have an audio version of it. And we have a Roku channel. It's called BS3 TV. So we have something for everybody. Our tagline is changing the way you watch TV. So you can come on there, find anything that you'll be interested in. That's what we do.
Excellent. I love it. How can people find it?
So BS the number 3, as you can see right here, BS the number 3 network, or go to bs3tvlive.com. You have a Roku TV or app. You can download the app BS3 TV.
Excellent. Well, nice meeting you. I can't wait to learn more. Okay.
No problem.
I do this real quick so I can let them get
out. We can actually do it right now. I just got a kind of a loop.
I got you. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, you want to sit right here?
Okay.
All right, we can both get them.
Lips is okay. Have a cupcake.
They do a good job at keeping you fed here.
Yeah, they do. I was surprised. Did you go to media? Did you go to the Silver Dome yesterday?
Yes.
I was like shocked at that. You walk right off of the bus and all the food.
All the
They
food's all
treat
there.
us, but it's everybody. We're treated just like mainstream media.
Oh yeah.
This is my first year, so I'm excited.
Okay, yeah. They do a good job. They do a good job
How
at
long
taking
you
care
been
of it.
coming?
This is the 3rd year.
Okay, has it been well worth it for you?
Yeah, it has. You know,
Have you seen your business grow?
yes.
You have.
Yeah.
Okay, in which ways?
With more shows on the network, obviously more increasing the audience and potential sponsors.
Yeah, okay, so that's what it's about, right? Getting the sponsors. Is it?
Right.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Because a lot of these other folks that don't look like us, they got the sponsorship. You see how big their shoes are?
Right. Couches and everything. Yeah.
But do they do business with us? So we do business with them, and we gotta get them to do business with us. You know? Because their dollars is bigger than ours. But anyways, so what we can talk about is how people utilize grants and contracts to scale their business. And if they don't know anything about grants, I can give them a quick education on them and talk about where they can find them and why we should be accessing other people's money instead of using our own to fund our business for our
And your name again?
Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. Let's see if I can
Just so I can reference to it. I'll mention your name a couple times. Just so people-
Oh, good, good. And that one doesn't have anything
Alicia,
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika,
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole,
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan,
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Alicia,
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika,
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole,
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan,
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
All right, welcome back. We are live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59 here in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we have our next guest up on the show, Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. Thank you for stopping by the table. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. So what brings you here to Radio Row?
Well, I am here to promote my business and how I can help nonprofits, charities, churches, and small businesses expand using other people's money. My company, Imperial Management Group, does government grants and government contracts, and therefore there's $8 trillion available, and I want to make people aware of it and how it can benefit their business.
Okay, all right, and talk about the benefit of grants and government contracts and what that can do that people aren't aware of.
Okay, well, I'll use my own business for an example. I have been writing grants for my own business, and I brought in over $200,000 in grants and $125,000 in a government contract. So I know the difference it could make. I could never have scaled my business using my own money to infuse my business. I just wouldn't have been able to do that. In the arena that I'm in, we write the proposals and we submit them on behalf of our clients. And that's how we're successful, because we don't do one, we do multiple proposals, because it's like stacking your dollars. First you might get 50,000, then you might get 100,000, then we'll go after $500,000 and $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and so your business, like you mentioned, and you've helped over 95 or over a 95% success rate. Talk about that.
Right. So during COVID, I found out how much money was available. I found out that there's $850 billion available in grants and $8 trillion available in contracts. So I felt like I was leaving money on the table. So I put out a job op, hiring more people. I brought in 27 people. And here's the thing, I went 6 months without taking any money from my company. I gave it to the people that were working for me. And we were able to bring in $30 million during COVID for first timers, businesses that never applied, nonprofits that had never won anything before. We were able to do that using my model of going from preparation to documentation to research, writing, and submission. And we did multiples and walked away with between $30 and $40 million. And we're still adding on to that pot.
Awesome. And how long is that process?
Well, the process is lengthy. I'm going to tell you, that's why most of us don't do it. If you go after federal dollars, the application could be 100 pages. The state application might be about 30 pages, and the local application might be about 10 pages. There's levels to this money game, okay? On the local level, you'll get between 50,000 to 100,000. On the state level, you'll get between 50,000 to $1 million. And on the federal level, it's like 100,000 up to 5 million. So yeah, so it's a lot of work. Everybody can't do it, right? But we should at least attempt to do it, because I've been successful with people that haven't done it before. They go through our program and they are successful.
And a lot of times it takes work, and it's not easy. A lot of things aren't easy, but definitely it takes work. So where can people find you and follow you, and if they want to work with you?
Excellent question. My website, imgconsulting.info. That's imgconsulting.info. You're going to hear about our training programs, our certification programs, and the packages that we offer to work with you and your company. And let me tell you, working with us will be life-changing. I came from the federal government. I was a senior congressional evaluator. I audited and evaluated 26 federal agencies looking for fraud, waste, and abuse. And now I'm on the other side helping companies use those policies and procedures to win money for their business or their charity.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Definitely looking forward to what you have coming up in the future. And how long are you here all week?
I'm here all week. I'm so excited. I'll be speaking tomorrow. I'll be speaking at a golf course tomorrow on the Business of Sports panel. And I'll be on there with Kobe Dean's mom. He's the Philadelphia Eagles, by the way. And a few other retired NFL players will be talking about the business of sports. As you know, as BS3 knows, this is the money game right now. This is billions of dollars being transacted throughout this week, connections, relationships being built, and partnerships being made, right? And so the reason I'm here is to talk to those players about their charities, about their nonprofits, and if they're thinking about starting a business, our company will be there to help them through the process, because after all, there is life after football, right? Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. Make sure to follow and be on top of everything she has coming up. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right.
Go Eagles.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. 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 BS3 Network. 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 Changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to BS3 Network live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59. And we are live with our next guest. Like I said, you never know who will be on the show. Dr. Janet Lockhart Jones Thank you for stopping by.
Of course, thank you so much. It's really an honor and a privilege to stop by and be a guest on your network. This week has been a fantastic platform for me to talk about a subject that I am really, really passionate about, and that is protecting our young players' mental health before they get into the league, where the amount of stress and opportunity and trials and it just becomes exponential.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. I think we don't consider mental health, and I think us as a culture, we sometimes overlook it, but it's extremely important to us being as successful as we can be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hugely important. And in the Black community, there's still a stigma. People don't openly admit that they suffer from mental health. I like to say mental unwellness. And mental health, one thing, mental illness. People don't openly admit they suffer from mental illness. Many people don't know, and many don't know what the signs and symptoms to look for are. So that's one of the things I offer in my mental health playbook is different categories of symptoms that people can check off, because if you check off so many and you've experienced these symptoms over a period of time, that suggests that you might need help. And so the other thing that I've been talking about this week, first of all, I give the NFL credit for the work that it does to provide its players mental health services. The NFL has on staff psychiatrists and psychologists, etc. My playbook, my mental health playbook, is to calls for identifying elite athletes at high school and then also at college, and partner with them to uncover any mental health issues and then get them on a path to mental wealth before they enter into the NFL. And the same could still be said for the NBA as well, because these are just babies. These are kids 18 to 23 years of age. Some of them have had some very traumatic upbringings, and that doesn't stop just because you're drafted into the NBA. In fact, your problems and what's on your shoulders and what's weighing heavily on your mind just becomes exponentially greater, or magnified, to use your word, now that you're part of the NFL family, right? So I want, and Lockhart Jones Consulting wants to work with these elite athletes to get them mentally and emotionally and spiritually positioned to be mentally wealthy before they enter into the league.
And so, talk about your organization and how it can best help those athletes. And your age group that we kind of talked about pre-interview is like that 14 to 18. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, we have to look at when society tends to begin to identify elite athletes. For some, it could be 13, right? But specifically, if we're looking at the NFL, that's in high school. I would say 12 to 14. They start getting noticed, right? And then they will enter college, and they will still carry with them that label of a potentially elite athlete. So that's the age group that I'm targeting before they get into the NBA or before they get into the NFL. Because, like I said, if you look at the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the demographics of those who are joining the rookie rates of joining as a rookie in the NFL. They are typically Black. They are from low-income families. They sometimes may have barely graduated from high school, but that doesn't. But they could still be, I'd say, exponentially talented. But society oftentimes doesn't look at what's behind the talent. They just look at the talent. That's all they see. And then once they join a professional organization like the NFL or the NBA, so what do they look at? They look at talent. What numbers can you put up? If you're the quarterback, how many completions, how much this. If you're a running back or wide receiver, they want you to perform. They don't necessarily want to hear about what's underneath, what's going on up here, and what's beneath the surface. And so, but like I said, the NFL has made some strides, great strides in addressing mental health. But what I want to do, which is so unique from what any other organization is doing that I know of, is partnering with these elite athletes to address any mental health challenges they have to get that right before they start their professional career. That's the mental health playbook. And that's
and that makes a huge difference. And so I'm based out of Dallas. Dak Prescott, who's the quarterback of the Cowboys, his brother dealt with some mental health issues, and he started his own foundation. Is that something you would recommend to athletes to start their foundation if it's something that they dealt with or something that they can relate to?
Yeah, absolutely. Because nothing replaces personal experience. Nothing replaces personal experience. And so starting your own foundation, and I think it would be an incredible mentorship to start a foundation so that aligns with helping people to not have to go through what you went through, right? And so folks like Dak Prescott and many, many others who are now openly admitting to mental health challenges that they had, not just while playing in the NFL, but even before they joined the NFL. You know, if they can use that experience to mentor those coming behind them, that can be truly powerful. Because sometimes our young people, they just see the dollars, they see the opportunities, and you my family member, oh Janet, go after that contract because 10 million, you can buy us a home, you can do this, so they have all those pressures. So if the athletes who have been there, who've experienced mental unwellness and know what that feels like, can form a foundation or some other charity program, it's because see, that's the thing. A lot of folks, even though they're coming up as elite athletes, they may not have the money to pay $300 or $400 an hour for a mental health coach or for therapy. But if you are a former athlete and you form a charitable foundation where you can get grant money, then you can help fund the services that these athletes really need. And again, it's important to get them before they start their professional career, not after.
And so talk about the 3 A's, awareness.
Yes, the 3 A's. Yeah. So the 3 A's form the foundation of my mental health playbook. So the first A is awareness. It's important that these young people and anybody suffering from mental health, it's important that they know what to look for. Yeah. So actually on my website, I have some toolkits, and there's self-care toolkits and there's mental health toolkits, and they're all downloadable PDFs. And what they can do, and one of the toolkit items, it gives you different categories of things you might be experiencing: sleeplessness, lack of appetite, emotional roller coaster, just losing it, going off the deep end, argumentative, restlessness. So it gives you different things to look for that you might be experiencing, because that's the time to say, hey, I need help. So awareness is that first of the 3. The second is alignment. Now, once we are aware that there is a problem, we can align you with the best solutions. It might be mindfulness practices. Mental health issues do not always require medication. Yeah. But I'm going to say just openly to your public, because I have been there and I have been at the lowest of what a person can feel from mental illness. And so I do take medication, 1 little pill a day. And medication doesn't make you happy or all of this stuff. It just keeps your serotonin and other of your chemicals in your body in balance. So alignment is about prioritizing yourself, and that aligns with one of my signature coaching programs called I forgot the name of it. I know it's on here. I'm sorry, listeners, but the priority of first. the priority of first, which means this doesn't mean being first at anything and everything, but it's really about prioritizing yourself. And if you're not prioritizing your mental well-being or your mental health, you're not prioritizing yourself. So alignment is about, okay, now we're aware. Now let's align you with the best services and the best services, the best practices, so that you can embark upon a path of mental wealth. The third piece is action. Okay, we know what your triggers are, what your symptoms are. This is what you need to do. Now you got to take action, and you have to commit to mindfulness practices, or if it's medication, you have to commit to your medication. You have to commit to putting yourself and your mindful well-being first. Because even if you have a contract in front of you as a rookie, oh, we're going to give you $10 million, right? But you go home every night and you're not in control of your thoughts. Your mind is constantly racing. You can't sleep. Your appetite is this. You're having hallucinations. You're not going to reap much joy, sustainable joy, from what you're doing to collect all that money. And then, how long is the average NFL career? About 3 to 5 years. Some can make it 8, 9, 10, but that's rare, right? 3 to 5 years. So if you're not taking care of your mind before you get into the NFL, or during those 3 to 5 years, when you leave, that's when all heck is going to break loose, right? And then you're going to look back and ask yourself, why did I not do anything before? Why did I let myself get mesmerized by the glitz and glamour? Because all that's gone now. And you have to be mentally prepared to be away from the spotlight. Nobody's chasing you down for interviews. You're not coming to NFL Media Week. You know, none of that's happening anymore. So you have to adjust. And this is what I say to folks, whether you're in the NBA, the NFL, or even women who are in elite sports. The sports you play do not define who you are. That's what we have to remember. What you do is not necessarily who you are, right? And so give yourself the gift of going through your profession being mentally well, being mentally strong, so that you can handle all the stuff that's going to be coming your way, but you can handle it with resiliency. You can handle it with grace. Don't let anybody tell you that your mental health doesn't matter. We just want you to play. Your mental health doesn't matter. Just go down and make all these touchdowns. Or your mental health doesn't matter. Just, tackle, ABC. No, because we're all human beings. We're all the same. You just play a sport that you happen to be very good at it, but that only lasts for a season. But hopefully you will last quite well beyond that season. And that's what my mental health playbook is all about.
Awesome. Once again, we are here with our next guest, Dr. Janet Lockhart Jones, really speaking about mental wealth and mental wellness. And I think it's very important. And if you play a sport or not, we do have to keep put ourselves first in that situation, because life will come at you a million miles a minute. And if we just allow things to just keep coming, we won't be able to take time, slow down, and take care of ourselves. So thank you for coming by. Where can people find you, follow you, and get access to your program?
Absolutely. People can find me via my website, which is www.lockhartjonesconsulting.com. That's lockhartjonesconsulting.com. Instagram, Janet Lockhart Jones. Facebook, Janet Lockhart Jones. YouTube, Janet Lockhart Jones. I'm out there. Just search LinkedIn, the same thing, Janet Lockhart Jones. Can you hand me my magazine for just a moment? I also just want to let you guys know, Tap In Magazine, I made the cover notice the power of First, my signature coaching program, which is all about self-care and mental wealth. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guest.
No problem. No problem. Thank you, and have a great week
Thank you so
here
much.
at the Super Bowl Radio World.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. 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 BS3 Network. 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 Changing the way you watch TV.
Don't have all the fancy equipment that you do.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
All right, welcome back. We are live on the Radio Row, BS3 Network, and we got our next guest up on the show, Cedric Singleton. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing today?
Good, good, good. What brings you to Radio Row this week?
Well, you know, this is a tremendous opportunity. I am with a tremendous cohort of leaders, the Leaders Academy and the Leadership Experience Tour. We are a group of entrepreneurs. A lot of us come from different walks of life. I spent 30 years in corporate America. Before that, I was in the military. I was a lieutenant in the military. And my whole thing is leadership.
Okay.
Right? So I was a leader in the military, and then believe it or not, this is a story that's going to probably make you laugh a little bit. I made you laugh earlier because Ben and that little mouse that Michael Jackson.
Right.
But because of free food, I decided that I was going to leave the military and get into sales, medical sales.
Okay.
Because there was a recruitment company on my military base, and they were offering free food to just go listen to them, and I wanted that free food.
Hey, I don't blame you. Hey, I'm the same way with free food. I'm gonna take the opportunity.
So because of that free food, I went and listened to them. But during that time, I saw some folks from corporate America. They had on these expensive suits.
Yeah.
They had some shiny shoes on. They had, back in the day, briefcases were still a thing. They had them little leather briefcases.
Yeah.
But they were very professional, and they were leaders.
Yeah.
And they said that they wanted young lieutenants to leave corporate America and lead the military and join their teams and lead their teams.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was all about leadership. Whether you're leading in the military or leading in corporate America or leading here as an athlete, leadership is leadership.
Yeah.
And so I decided to start my own sort of consultant firm on leading. And to answer your question, a lot of athletes, when they leave the athletic profession, they don't have coaches.
Yeah.
Right? From high school to college to the professional world, the one thing that they all have is coaches. I want to fill in the gap by having them consider having a coach when they leave the professional world, and to kind of help them on the next journey in their life.
Yeah, yeah. And that's great. I mean, and leadership is needed everywhere. So not just in sports, like you said, but talk about what your organization, your program, the Peak Formation Program.
Yeah, so it basically is geared towards, no matter who you are, no matter what your organization is, everyone has their own sort of peak performance. And that concept is basically you have your level. Your level's different than my level. That's different than the next man's level.
Yeah.
But everyone has a peak level.
Right.
And the difference between where you are and where you can be is peak performance. And building a plan to get from here to there is kind of what I'm all about. Helping you to build that plan. So many people want to reach that peak performance, but they don't have really a plan.
Right.
So peak performance is all about establishing what I call the 3-step plan.
Yeah.
Step one is you have to believe in having a certain mindset to get there, right? And so when you believe in that mindset, then you can actually see that destination. That's the first step. You see the destination, then you can build a plan to get there. That's the second step. So you have the destination, then you can build a plan. Destination number one, plan number two, then it's execution.
Right. Most
Those
important
three
part.
things, right?
Yeah.
Now, each one of those things sounds fairly simple. The coaching is what's needed to bring it all together.
Yeah. And that's 100% right. Because like you have here in your notes, mindset is a huge thing. And if you don't believe what you're trying to do, then it will never happen.
That's right. That's right. Well, and that's the thing, right? If you think about the mindset of a player, an athlete, if you think of the mindset of my background of a soldier, a military soldier, if you think of a mindset, my other background of a professional salesperson, all of them have the same thing in common. They want to be successful and achieve results, right? And oftentimes, I met a young brother earlier. He was from Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Rochester is cold.
Yeah.
Right? So a part of it is, do you do what you need to do when things get hard?
Right. Exactly.
Right? So when a part of mindset is, can I get through the tough days? Can I get through the hard times?
Right.
And that, again, is where getting the right coach that helps you understand that not every day is going to be that glorious day. Like, there was that commercial. You look like you're too young to remember. The Michael
I
Jordan.
don't know. Test me.
Huh?
I said test me. I don't know. Let's see.
The age?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Michael Jordan commercial came out in like the early 90s.
Yeah. I was like 8.
Yeah, I was saying. So yeah. Sit down, young man. So, but there was a commercial about Michael Jordan and all the successes he had, but he talked about all the times he missed those shots, and the whole point was, in order to get to all those championships, no one saw all those missed shots, right? And mindset really is geared towards being able to go through all the adversities to get to the successes.
Yeah. And a prime example, this Super Bowl right now, we got the Eagles and the Chiefs. They went through adversity throughout the entire season. It wasn't easy for them to just get to this point. They've battled. They went through all these different things, injuries and everything. So you could definitely compare it to where we are right now in this game coming up on Sunday.
You actually got the two perfect teams that illustrates that. On the one side, you got Kansas City. Kansas City is the one champion that illustrated this year winning each game by the skin of their teeth. Right. Each game, for the most part, less than a touchdown for by and large. Finding a way to win, by and large. And then on the other side, you got the Eagles, where Jalen Hurts must be the one quarterback in history that they're saying is like not worthy, but all the guy does is win.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So how is he not worthy?
So how is he not worthy?
Right,
So
right.
talk about adversity, where you find yourself always competing, for playoff victories, championship victories, but they're saying that you can't do it. That is a mindset to work through adversity, and they both find themselves, both teams and individuals find themselves competing for the championship. So I think you're spot on. That those two teams like sort of exemplify what mindset can do, and to get you to like the highest level of the championship game. That illustrates how important having the right mindset is.
Yeah. So who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Man,
I was gonna ask you
all
that.
right. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna have to say it. I am a Cowboys fan.
Really? Okay, I am too. I'm from Dallas.
Okay. It gets worse. I'm not from Dallas. I live in the DMV.
Okay, so why are you not a Commanders fan then?
Well, so I'm originally from South Carolina.
Okay.
And I like I said, I'm from South Carolina before they had a football team.
Right.
Yeah, right. I'm that seasoned.
Yeah, that sounds like my dad. He grew up in North Carolina. Yeah.
So, but I have to go with. I don't want the three-peat. I don't want the three-peat. So I got to go with the Eagles.
You got to go with the Eagles?
I got to go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I want it to be a good game. I want it to be a close game. But I got to go with the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I would love to see him get a championship. Being a Cowboys fan, I don't want to see the Eagles do anything well, but I like Jalen Hurts. So, if it was to happen, I would definitely be okay with that. So talk about the Leadership Institute as well. How can people find that and give us more information on that?
Yes. So on the socials, Cedric Singleton 1906.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
Okay.
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Okay.
And
I would have pledged that if I decided to pledge, but I waited too long.
You strike me as a smart young man, so I expected no less. By the way. But then my website is there's an alpha man right there. See, there you go. There's an alpha man right there. There you go. See, we're all over the place.
Everywhere. Yeah.
But thepeakleadership.com, one word, thepeakleadership.com. That is my website. And again, for anyone, individual organizations that just want to get from where you are to where you aspire to be, 3 steps, I can help you with that. I think coaching is always needed to help you, again, to determine your destination, build a plan to get there, and help you with execution. I can help you with that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Also, you got a magazine here if you want to show that to everybody.
There's a handsome man on the cover, of course. I wanted to show you that, Tap In Magazine. And also, I'm a part of an anthology, Mastering the Harness of Expertise. There's a Don't Just Get Ready, Stay Ready. That's my chapter in here. And it's all about, being ready for your moment. And this is the book that I'm a part of. I'm very proud of this. There are a lot of great entrepreneurs in this book. So feel free. My website, you can get this book as well.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Cedric Singleton. Make sure to follow on all of his avenues, and you'll be here all week.
I will be here all week. Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a 100% chance. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listing.
All right, welcome back. We are live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59. We got our next guest up here on BS3 Network, Mark Holland, Dr. Mark Holland. How you doing?
I am fantastic, sir. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you so much for stopping by. What brings you here to Radio Row this week?
Man, what brings me here is this is probably the biggest opportunity to advertise your platform that the world has seen. We got two things that are great here at the Super Bowl. We got fantastic opportunities to market ourselves, and we got a lot of security.
Yeah, sniffing dogs and everything. They're everywhere. They had it on lock. I knew it was going to be crazy. I knew it was going to be like this, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They got it on lock. I went down to Bourbon Street yesterday, and ATF, Homeland Security, all the acronyms you want, and they were down there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Gridiron to Greatness. Talk about that. Before we do that, where are you based out of?
Based in Maryland right now, also living partially in Philadelphia. So that's my tell on who I'm for.
I can tell.
So spending most of my time in Philly right now, but I have a 90-year-old mother who said, "Baby, I live in Baltimore." So when I moved to Philly, I knew that it was going to be, a two-way street there.
It was going to be a back and forth.
Absolutely.
So talk about the Gridiron to Greatness.
Well, man, what we find with athletes is that these are people who make a phenomenal amount of money, have the potential to make a phenomenal amount of money in a short period of time. But if you don't have the correct guidance, that money is gone. And you find so many who have been on that field making all kind of money, being great, and then all of a sudden they're broke.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
happened so many times.
it's Shakespearean. It's a tragedy, you know. And so what we want to do is try to get people early. And the challenge is that when you're flowing in that kind of dough, you don't feel like you need no help.
You feel like you're untouchable.
Yeah, there you go. But then how quickly time goes. So we're trying to get to a place, man, where we can reach people, do some preventive maintenance as opposed to emergency surgery. You know?
Right. We're trying to be proactive instead of reactive.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So talk about the 10 Yards podcast.
Man, when I was I'm gonna take you back a little bit. When I was a senior in high school, I was top ranked nationally, a nationally top ranked cross country runner. It was a foregone conclusion that I would win my Maryland State Athletic Championship. All of the media there, all of the coaches from around the country there, and I choked. Terrible setup, I know. You did, but
I was hoping to hear something positive.
But listen, here's the thing. What I learned, and I think Bill Gates puts it best, he says, success is a terrible teacher. Because when you succeed, you rarely feel like you have something that you need to improve upon, right? So what I found was that I was able to pivot. I was able to take that loss and all of a sudden know that I needed some improvements, know that there were some things I needed to do better, and work on those things, you know? And because of that, man, I'm at a tremendous place in my life right now, and able to help others.
And we learn more from our failures. We learn more from our challenges than our successes. So I definitely I agree with you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talk about the Business Brilliance Summit.
Yes, sir. www.businessbrilliancesummit.com. And what it is basically we take businesses and we have a platform for them to show their wares and get connected with all other businesses and any other business. And it's a virtual event. And so partnering with me is my mentor right now, Les Brown. He's doing a fantastic job helping me with this. If people go to the Business Brilliance Summit website, they will see myself and Les, and they'll get an opportunity to dig more. But it's just a couple pillars that we work on. I heard you talk to a friend of mine, Cedric, earlier on your podcast about mindset. And we really want to focus on mindset. We really want to have people to get themselves in alignment with their core values. We want to help people with their mission and their vision. And then we want to help them with goals. Just a minute on core values. Many people don't even know what their core values are. And the reason that I'm a stickler about that in particular is because the way you get in trouble is to not know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
You'll take any road instead of the right one.
That's right. That's right. Or as one of my coaches is John Maxwell, and what he always says is, be careful about climbing the ladder of success and end up getting to the top and realizing it's on the wrong wall. So what are you doing? What are you know? Yes.
That's good. And Les Brown is an amazing motivator. I've watched and heard some of his things. And then also you're on the cover of this magazine here if you want to show that to the audience.
This is the magazine that I'm on the cover of, the Tap In magazine. Talks about our podcast, talks about our summit. I want to also mention that the summit has an accompanying academy. So there's a Business Brilliance Summit. And then for those who need help year round, there's a Business Brilliance Academy. And that's a monthly concern that we have where we retool and tool folk who need to bone up on what they, where their business needs to be strengthened.
And what's the dates of the summit?
The summit is this coming April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Yeah, and we're very excited about it. Please look at that, www.businessbrilliancesummit.com. And if that's too many words, just go to drmarkholland.com. Dr. Mark Holland, Dr. Dr. MarkHolland.com, because that my website, personal website, will lead you to the Business Brilliance website.
Awesome. So Dr. Mark Holland, also you have an upcoming book release, is that right?
Yes, sir. I have one book that is already out there, and that's an anthology with my mentor, Les Brown, and 14 other thought leaders from around the world. And it's called The Comeback, and just some inspirational stories that focus on how, if you should fall, get back up.
It's not the end when you fall.
It's not the end. And when you make a mistake or when you fail, it does not make you a failure. You simply need to revisit your plans and get back up. That's it.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, where can people find you, email you if they want to reach out to you?
I know that a lot of y'all young folk on the gram. So the gram at dr.markholland.com. I think I did the gram right. My daughter's looking at me like, okay, daddy, you got it. And then the website again is www.drmarkholland.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And you're here all week. Is that right?
I'm here all week, man. And thank you, man. You have a fabulous thing going, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of it.
No problem. Iron sharpens iron. We continue to build and grow off each other. So
yes,
appreciate
sir.
you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
All right.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV. 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 BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
there's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, welcome back. We are live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59. We got our next guest up on the show. Like I said, you never know who will be on the show next. And we got Dr. Anthony Shannon in the building. Thank you so much for coming through. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, brother. Yeah. You know, I saw you guys making it happen and doing what you do. I said, oh, yeah, I got to talk to them brothers.
But thank you so much for coming by. What brings you here to Radio Row this week?
Man, what brings everybody here, man? Come on, brother. This, if you in media, this is the Super Bowl for media. I know it's the Super Bowl for football, but look, the media got a Super Bowl. Right. I don't know if y'all know that, but this is it. Everybody and somebody that anybody that want to be somebody better be up in here. You know, in football they got rookies, right? They play, but they don't play. You know what I'm saying? But you walking around, they don't know what to say. But you like, hey, you might be the next somebody. So come on, let me talk to you right now.
Right, exactly. And the perfect time for you to be here, man. Leaders win championships.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that.
Yeah, man. You know what we figured this out that over the years, man. You know, people lose, people want to win, but they always talking about losing. Mm-hmm. Well, we found this out in our history. I used to be in industry, a district vice president, a vice president, then I became a president. Mm-hmm. When I became the president, I walked in, got the job. They said, there's no training. I said, well, who's going to train the people? They said, you are. I said, is there a manual? They said, no. I said, what you mean, no? You told me to train the people. They said, you got to create it.
Yeah, they said, you are the manual.
I'm the manual. I said, I ain't never heard of such. They said, when we hire you at this level, we hire you for your mind. I said, okay. So I started putting together manuals based off of my teams, what they needed. Yeah. Whatever they needed, I said, okay, that's a weakness. So we then built it up to make it strong and then created a culture of winning. And once we created that culture, anybody that came in that didn't have the chemistry wouldn't last long because the culture was about winning. That's what we create. We created it so tough corporately, we then took it to the sports. We started with the Detroit Tigers. Detroit Tigers baseball. We started working with them. It started working. Then we started working with the Red Wings. Now we're working with the Detroit Lions, right? Now we said, well, let's just bring it on down here. All right. So
that's why the Lions been winning, huh?
I don't know if that's why they winning, but I know we got the culture of a winning mindset. It's called championship.
Yeah. Hey, they were this close too. They were this close to winning it, which sucks for them. But talk about the three core pillars of leadership excellence.
You see, right here, we're talking about precision leadership. Number one, precision leadership is intentional leadership. If you're not intentional that you want to win, then you're going to lose because nothing just happens. It must be planned. But if you don't have a plan, you're already planning to lose because you ain't working nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, oh, maybe I'll go down to the Super Bowl. Maybe I'll go to, well, you ain't going to come. But guess what? We said we got precision. We going to be there. And that's called precision leadership. It's intentional. It's targeted and you plan it and then you work the plan.
Right. Exactly. It's got to be that way. What's number 2?
Power culture, right? Power comes from the inside, not on the outside. Even when you talk about lifting weights, right? You can go up in there and try to throw up 600 pounds. It ain't happening. I don't care if you big, man, you so big. No, brother. You got to work on that. Power comes in increments. Power just don't happen. It comes in increments. That's why you can't judge a little fella who is only 5'9", and you got a guy 6'6" and think he can take him out. No, brother. He got power mentally, internally. He can take that boy out quick. Cut him at the battle. hit him on the side, he can go down.
Right.
Follow?
You
So we create that.
Yeah, you think of UFC. If anybody watches UFC, they got these guys that are like 5'9".
Yeah,
and they, imagine them going up against a heavyweight,
right?
And you think, oh, he can't win, but he's skilled and talented, and he's able to, do what he got to do to
Well,
get
what
him
about
down.
Spud Webb? They didn't think he could
exactly.
dunk.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
boy dunked on them boys. Big boy. I mean, how does a little fella dunk on a tall brother?
That's short.
I said, get out of it. When I saw that, I said, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
That's intentionality, man. That's some power culture right there. You got to know your power come from the inside and come on the outside.
Right, exactly.
Don't judge.
What's the third one?
Third one, we call that playoff mentality. Playoff mentality, unfortunately, like our Detroit Lions, all year you can do good.
Right.
You could be winning teams, you could be knocking out teams and get to the playoffs and lose.
Right.
You got to have a playoff mentality like the Lakers. Lakers had the playoff mentality. Listen, we can win everything and anything. We can win the Western Conference Final. We ain't celebrating that.
Right.
We'll do a little bit, but that's it. We're going back to the grind until we win a championship.
Yeah.
If you don't have that mentality, you're going to be celebrating on the one win. Hey, but you got about 20 more wins to go, and you didn't quit. No, you can't quit. You got to win and go all the way. And then when you go all the way, you got to decide, do I want to do this again? Because most people, when they win, they celebrate and get comfortable. But when you got a playoff mentality, we win, we celebrate, and we go back to the grind to win again.
We do it again. Yeah, because it's not just one time.
It ain't just one time.
And it's levels.
It's levels. I love that. It's levels. Come on. So you already know about this. You're a champ yourself.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. So, you're here at the Super Bowl. Obviously, we got the two teams in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how you can relate, what you're here for, what you bring to these two teams.
Yes, what we bring to them is what I call transferring principles. Transferring principles will work wherever you are. That means they'll work in business, church, they'll work in Super Bowl. No matter. What we do is we bring principles about overcoming limiting beliefs. These guys come from everywhere, an amalgamation of backgrounds, cultures. But look, they've thrown into almost like a gladiator situation.
Yeah.
Some of them 20 years old, 23, 24. They green, man. But let me tell you something. You in an adult league. In an adult, ain't nobody hand feeding you, walking you. You understand? You better catch on. Right? Fight.
Get in where you fit in.
Get in where you fit in or get 8 out. Okay? And so some of these people, they get what we call mental attacks, which is affecting mental health. Coaches don't know how to deal with that. We come in and teach them how to train their players or build a culture of overcoming limiting beliefs. Some don't believe they can do it. Some they still hearing their mom and daddy talking to them, even though they in the NFL, even though they on the team, right? And somebody's got to walk them through. We teach them the principle that's transferable that can help them on the field and off the field. And once we start training this, it's a life changer, a game changer, because now they understand nobody come to rescue them. We got to give you the tools to rescue yourself. It's almost like they're saying, don't feed me, teach me how to fish so that I can eat every day I want to eat. But if you feed me
whenever
today,
I want,
that's right. I'm done. After you leave, I'm good. After tomorrow, I'm like, I'm hungry again. But if I teach you how to fish, brother, you're going to be eating. That's what we teach them.
Yeah, you're going to be eating good, too.
You're going to be eating good. You're going to be eating good.
All right, so who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Here's what I've been saying to everybody. I'm a prophet you can trust. And I tell people, somebody gonna win the Super Bowl. And when they win, I'm standing up with them saying, I knew you was a champion.
I knew it.
I told everybody you was gonna win. They said, you did. Yes, I did. I said, somebody, and you to somebody.
So talk about the book
Yes,
that
sir.
you have coming out.
The book is so important because as we've been training and teaching people over the years, there's one thing that I found that's stopping people. They don't believe, or there's some limiting belief that they should not, or they don't give themselves permission to prosper, be successful, and not feel guilty, not feel like, man, maybe I shouldn't be this way. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, guess what? There is principles of the laws of prosperity. There is principles on the laws of success. There's principles that if you do A and B and C, then D, E is going to be easy for you. But if you don't even do A, you can't expect to get to B. We train people. Let's break the limiting beliefs. Let's break those things that's holding you back. But not only that, this book have done the research on the Jewish folks, why are they number one?
Yeah.
Why are in every industry they're the top?
Right.
Michael Dell with the computers,
Yeah.
Jewish, number one.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg, Jewish, number one.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
All of these guys, you can name them.
Yeah, you
In
can go down
every
the list.
industry,
Right.
they're Jewish. On
Right.
the Forbes 400 list of billionaires,
Yeah.
guess what? 37% on that list is Jewish.
Wow.
Well, when I started talking to them and doing research with them and talking to the Jewish rabbis and all the ones, I found out something that they use. It's a word called tzedakah. Tzedakah, they started teaching me and showing me these principles that we don't use.
Yeah.
They call it sacred principles.
Yeah.
I said, this is sacred to success. Huh? He said,
Right.
yeah. I said, cool, that's my next book. I'm
Yeah.
going to give the principles. I'm going to show the insights. And I'm going to tell people A, B, C, D, and this is going to happen. It's guaranteed. We ain't talking about a fluke. We're talking about guaranteed. I ain't talking about gambling. I'm talking guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have proven these principles.
Yeah.
I've been using them, and it's working.
And it's working.
Come on, somebody. So now I'm ready to teach it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I call it sacred success.
I love it. I love it. I mean, what better can we do than to pass it down to the next generation or to those that need it?
Yes, sir.
Period.
Yeah. Now, you know what our people have not done, in which we need to stop our generation, you, me, which you're already doing. You're adding a voice. Our fathers and forefathers said, "Don't say nothing.
Right.
Shut up, boy. Don't you go? Want stay in this? I mean,
Stay
stay
in
in the
these four
house.
walls.
Don't you even talk about it." See,
Right,
that
right.
was wrong.
Yeah.
So guess what? We've been hurt. We've been damaged. We don't do nothing. You know what our counterparts do? They get hurt. They get in the crisis. They write a book about it.
Right.
Huh?
They talk about
They
it.
talk about it. They
Right.
make a movie about it. They do
Right.
this about it. They
Right.
come up with all kind of stuff. We don't.
Right.
Well, it's time for us to do that.
Right.
We have to put it in writing,
Yeah.
documenting.
Write the vision
Come
down and
on,
make it plain.
Make it plain so that me and somebody else can run with it.
Right.
Because if I know you overcame, I know he overcame, she overcame, then I know, shoot, I'm overcome.
I can overcome.
I
Right.
can overcome.
Right.
Mom went through this, so I ain't weird. I ain't crazy.
Right.
I'm gonna fight through this.
Right.
I ain't got to
Right.
go take myself out. Mom said she overcame this.
Right.
Good.
Right.
That's why we got to talk about it.
Right.
Write it, because a book can go where you can't go.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
They don't even
Right.
know who he is. They can read your book. Hey, glory.
So when is the book releasing?
The book release is April 1st,
Okay.
2025. All right. So we're going to be letting people know. And you're going to tell me, and we're going to send you a book so you can endorse the book,
Yeah,
tell people
definitely.
about the book. But
Definitely.
yeah, we're going to send you the book. It's going to be great.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Give us your
Awesome.
reviews on it. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely. Dr. Anthony Shannon Sr., thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find you, follow you, and if they want to work with you?
All social media making me real easy. Anthony D. Shannon. Anthony D. Shannon. Facebook, Instagram is Anthony D. Shannon. Now, we do have a summit coming up. It's our free summit. We call it Speak to Serve. It's our way of giving back. We got over 62 speakers, an amalgamation of speakers. Leaders Live Generously Summit.com.
Okay.
They can go register for free. I'm
I
paying
love that.
for all of it. I want them to be encouraged. I want them to be inspired.
Yeah.
Check it out. And I know, but if they can't, I do have an on-demand package for $99. They can pay $99 and watch it for a whole year, right? On demand.
Yeah. And I'll say this: this is one of the cleanest brothers walking around here on
Oh,
Radio
bless
Road
you,
too,
man.
man.
Bless
One of the
you,
cleanest
man.
brothers walking
Bless
around here.
you, brother.
But thank you so much for stopping by, and definitely look forward to seeing what you got in the future.
Bless y'all, man.
All right. Take care.
All right, bless you too.
All right.
Oh, give me one of those back. I gave you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. BS3 Network. 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 Changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome to Dallas, home of Mr. Cajun's daiquiris and Cajun food. New Orleans cuisine. Mr. Cajun's got the best daiquiris in the city. Yeah, you heard me right. The best daiquiris in the city. With multiple locations. Yeah, it's Mr. Cajun. I'm telling you, he got it all. I'm talking about burl crab legs, oxtail, chicken wings, and real authentic daiquiris. And don't forget about that world famous original gumbo. Yeah, it's Mr. Cajun's Daiquiri, located in Dallas, Texas. And it don't stop there. And Mr. Cajun's got a new location coming soon, opening January 1st, 2025. And coming soon, you're going to love this. The Vibe by Mr. Cajun, summer 2025. Mr. Cajun is taking over Dallas, Texas as the original Mr. Cajun's Daiquiri and Cajun food. So stop by anytime at all locations. It's Mr. Cajun.
All right, welcome back. We are live on Radio Row. We're here at Super Bowl 59. We have our next guest up on the show, Cheryl Monroe. How you doing today?
Thank you for having me on your platform. Yeah, Cheryl Monroe, owner of CK Management and Consulting Group.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for stopping by our table. What brings you here to Radio Row this week?
So, hey, I'm here to introduce the procurement playbook to the NFL players, former players, and their spouses on how they can get into the government space. Because, like my motto says, you don't need millions to make millions.
Oh, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, so I'm here to introduce them to government contracting. That is an untapped market. You know, like right now, The government gives about 136 to 163 billion dollars a year in government contracting, and these are services and products that they require to keep the government moving. So why not get into this space?
Wow. I mean, that's right. I would definitely recommend that. So talk about, give us a little bit of background on yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I did 28 years in the military, 6 combat tours. I was the first African American female to obtain the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 5 in the United States Army in ammunition. And so I highlight that. I was also inducted into the United States Army Women's Foundation Hall of Fame in Arlington, Virginia. I do this because I want us to understand there's a space for us to create generational wealth for our families. And so that's pretty much me, like in a nutshell there.
Well, thank you for your service as well. We definitely appreciate that. All right, so talk about the procurement playbook, the winning strategy for former NFL players.
Yeah, so the procurement playbook, it gives you the strategy to get into government contracting. It talks about not only the certifications for your business, because that's just one piece, and that's what most people stop at, but you need to understand the documentations that require, the laws and regulations of doing business with the government. You need to understand the bidding process. How do you respond to a request for proposal? So then what do you do when you go to those pre-bidders conferences? So what I do is prepare my clients for all of this and just to get into this space. And then we also need to look at what is the pricing strategy? What does it cost for you to offer your service to the government? That is very key in winning a government contract.
Yeah. And how long does the process normally take?
So depending on the contract itself, so sometimes they'll put a contract out for 30 days. You have 30 days to respond. Some contracts awards are within 2 weeks after the closing of the award. And then some might take 3 to 4 months or sometimes even a year, depending on the scope, complexity, and how large the contract is. So if we're talking about a contract for 33 million plus, it took a minute. It took almost 7 months for the award to come through. So it just, it depends on the actual government agency as well too. And also the money, if they're able to fund the contract once it's awarded. So that's key.
Right. That's the key right there, right?
Yeah, because we can't work for free.
Right. Yeah, we're not doing that. Right. So talk about, are there certain contracts that you think are more geared towards NFL players, or is it just based on what their industry they're in?
Yeah, so it's not a particular contract or industry that's geared towards NFL players. You can be in logistics, you can do supply chain management, you can do telecommunications, you can do entertainment. Like it's an open market because the government procures everything.
Yeah.
So we're not limited.
Yeah. All right, and how do you kind of merge what you're doing with your previous military experience?
So with my previous military experience, I worked in procurement. I wrote requests for proposals while I was stationed at the Pentagon. I established the technical review boards. I developed the evaluation criteria on what that looked like when it went out. So I knew what I wanted to have when it came in. So now I bring all that institutional knowledge, and then I was a certified contracting officer representative. I bring all that institutional knowledge to the other side. Now I help you respond to things I used to put out to you.
Yeah.
See, so you get,
Right.
So it's a kind of like a win-win situation here. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. And you have a magazine here, and
Tapped in, decided to, put me in the magazine while we was here at Super Bowl. And, it's going to add into like the procurement playbook. And if you want to know anything about these awesome people that are in this book, I suggest you tap in because it's a wealth of knowledge in here. And we just give you guidance on what we're doing, more information on how that works, and to just make sure people understand this is an untapped market. If you want to create generational wealth for your family, I suggest you take a hard look into government contracting. And I actually had some of that conversations with some of the NFL players here because they just didn't hear government contracting. What is this? We need to dig deeper into that. Yes, dig deeper, get an understanding. Once again, this is an untapped market. And for me, it's not just about the NFL player. It's also for their spouses and their significant others to be able to create a space for their own that then they can generate millions.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So it's
exactly.
we're making millions all around.
Right. Millions on millions, right? So at the bottom of the magazine, you said you have the Champions Circuit. Talk about that.
That's the champion circuit. Hey, once you come over here, you're going to be a champion regardless. So this is the champion circuit here. You get with CK Management and Consulting Group, you're guaranteed to be a champion in whichever endeavor you choose to be in. And so that's what, and I want to emphasize that because I want everybody to have that champion mindset, because the mindset is what can hold you back.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't have that champion mindset, then you're preventing yourself from moving forward. So that's another thing. That's why we call this a champion circuit, baby. All champions over here.
All right. So we're here at the Super Bowl. Obviously, we got two teams playing, the Chiefs and the Eagles. Give us your take on the game. Do you have a winner, a prediction, or anything like that?
So I have a prediction. So on this one, I'm gonna go with Philly. So that's the team I'm going with. We're gonna stick with Philly now. My team is not playing, unfortunately. So I have to choose one of the two that are. So Philly is the team I'm gonna go with.
I got you. Who's your team?
Pittsburgh Steelers and Atlanta Falcons.
You one of the people with two teams? Okay.
I have a 2-person household.
Okay.
I got to keep my husband happy. So he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so it's half and half in the house.
I hear you. As long as they don't play each other, everything's all good.
Yeah, as long as they don't play each other, we all good. Yeah.
Good. All right. So where can people find you, follow you? If they want to work with you, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, for people that want to work with me, find me, just get more information, feel free to go to www.ckmacg.com. You can send me an email at admin@ckmacg.com. You can also, I'm on social media, ckmacg_20, and I'm on Facebook at Cheryl.Monroe96.
Okay. All right. And you're here all week, right?
Here all week.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely looking forward to what you have coming up, what you have going on. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and thank you for having me on your platform.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Have a good one.
You are now tuned to BS.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where